This is going to be a different type of video because it's related to a conversation that I was having with myself in the last 5 mornings. And if you're someone that is pursuing a dream that is so much bigger than the life that you're currently living, if you are choosing a path of uncertainty, that's when you also experience these moments of darkness, of questioning, where all this overthinking is taking over. And sometimes you don't even know how to navigate this or where to go with these feelings, because you might also feel this experience of loneliness when you start having these doubts and these fears. And this is something that I was confronted with in the last 5 days specifically, because when I woke up in the morning before my alarm or at my alarm, my bed was so comfortable. It was so warm and I didn't want to get out of bed because it's cold, it's dark. And that's when I already felt tired. The heavier energy was present. And that's when this voice becomes louder with all the questioning and overthinking. Like, why don't you just stay in bed for 30 minutes longer, an hour longer? Nobody knows. You deserve this. You've been working so hard. You need some more rest. You will be more productive if you stay in bed longer right now. With all the compelling arguments as well. And these are already the moments. The moment you wake up, who are you being in those moments? These are already the moments where you define yourself. So I chose to get up regardless of these feelings, but then I'm sitting behind my laptop and it's still dark outside. Most people are still asleep because I'm an early bird. And that's where also this questioning was still present. Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if this? What if that? Maybe you should quit. What will people think of you? And especially if you're going through phases like that and seasons like that in your life, maybe you're not seeing the results that you wanted to see. And that's why when you choose the path of uncertainty, you just walk into the darkness. You just walk into the complete darkness and you're taking massive action and you have no idea when something will work out, if something will work out. So this is a journey that requires so much trust and faith. Because you can choose the predictable, I would call the certainty path, which is more predictable. But if you're choosing this uncertainty path, it's so unpredictable. You don't know when and if something is going to be working out. And not to say that one is right and the other is wrong, one is better and the other is worse. It's just a different path that people choose in life. But in that moment when I was questioning things, I felt also this sense of loneliness. Because where do I go with these feelings? Like, I have such a strong support system around me, but I also know that most people do not understand. And not that they have to understand and that they have to applaud me like, oh, look at you showing up in the morning. Look at you doing all the hard work. Like, it's not that I need something like that, but it's this sense of loneliness, as in, where do I go with these feelings and with these thoughts? Who can relate to this? Because there are not many people that can relate to you like that. Because yes, people are supporting me, but they're also saying, you should take some more rest. You should do this. Oh, if you're tired, like, oh, you can take a day off from the gym. Like, in these thoughts, I don't want to even have them in my mind. It's like, yes, they are supporting me, but they're not understanding me. And it's not that I need this understanding, but it's also that if I don't have a place to go or people to relate to, then you experience this sense of loneliness as well in the journey. And what I'm reminding myself of is, this is where the real work starts. Who are you being in moments like that? When maybe nothing is going your way. You're not seeing the results. You start questioning every single thing. You feel tired. You have all the justifications in the book to take rest, to take days off, to be on your phone, to watch the YouTube videos. And what I start to do is I start to entertain these ideas of, let me do some more planning. Let me do some more research. Let me consume some more content. Let me do some more learning. Like, because this is where I start to move into this gray area, as in, well, I'm productive, right? I'm working on doing research and creating the plans, but this is not the work that actually matters. I know that I'm distracting myself like that. And this is where you also have to get real with yourself. How are you distracting yourself from these feelings? Because every single part, every single cell in your body wants to get you to comfort. It wants you to be comfortable, safe, that you don't experience all these uncomfortable feelings. That's why you want to stay in your warm bed, under your blanket, take another hour of sleep. This is where every single cell in your being wants to move you towards. So when you're choosing a path of uncertainty, you will have such a hard confrontation with yourself, because you have to choose discomfort over and over and over again. And that's, honestly, that's fucking hard. It is so hard to make these decisions over and over again, to choose discomfort every single time in all that you're doing. And it's not just discomfort as in fitness, as in I'm going to put my body through pain. It's also this emotional and mental discomfort. I'm moving into uncertainty. I don't know if it's going to work out. You know how much courage that requires of you. And what I'm reminding myself of, whenever I'm going through these periods, like I've been in the last 5 days, these are the moments that count. These are the moments where I get to show myself what I'm made of. These are the moments where people give up. Because a lot of people commit to the dream. They love the idea of the dream. Like, look at this lifestyle and look at this car and look at the business and look at this. Like, yeah, this sounds awesome. I want to achieve this. And then they also say things like, I am committed. I will move through the fear. I will do whatever it takes. It's very easy to say these words. But I don't trust people by their words. Like, I believe your commitment really shows up when you are confronted with these moments of questioning. Are you still committed? When you don't know if it ever is going to work out? Are you still committed when you want to stay in bed? Are you still committed when this overthinking is taking over? When this loneliness is taking over? When you rather want to go the predictable path? Because that is so much easier. This is where you are really tested. This is where you get to show yourself what you're made of. Because no one knows. No one knows if you did a few less reps in the gym. No one knows if you took 30 minutes off your workout. Nobody knows if you stayed longer in bed for 30 minutes, if you are on your phone. But the person that knows is you. And are you able to live with that? If I look at the results that I have or don't have, let's say I go all out and I don't get the results that I was looking for with whatever project I'm pursuing. The thing that I look at is, did I give it my all? Did I really give it my all? This is where if I didn't, this is where I will experience regret. I know that I stayed longer in bed. I know that I was on my phone, distracting myself. I know that I was distracting myself with research and planning and preparation because I was too afraid to take action. I know that I didn't ask for help. I know that I wasn't really all in with this. Because this is where I get to be at peace with myself. If I knew I gave it my all, it's okay that I didn't get the results that I wanted to get. But if I knew that I was slacking, like, you have to live with that. You have to live with those decisions. That you stayed in bed longer. And do you want to live with that? You know, this is where, like I said, that these are the moments where you separate yourself. This is where you separate yourself. This is where the real work starts. If everything is easy, when everything is comfortable, you haven't even started yet. So this is where, when you are experiencing these moments, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Like, this is what I'm choosing. This is where I also come from a place of acceptance. Not as in, this is what my reality is going to be like forever. And yes, I can reframe my thoughts around the loneliness and this and that and recreate my relationship. But these experiences will always be there. How do you show up when you have these experiences? This is what matters. They are not your reality. It seems like your reality. But you can choose who you're being regardless of these experiences, regardless of the results that you have. You can always choose who you're being regardless of your circumstances. This is the only thing that you have full control over. So this is also the place that you constantly want to go back to. That's why whenever I made the commitment, whenever I'm going into a certain direction, this is it. I know that I will experience every single feeling in the spectrum, and it might also be heightened because of the level of uncertainty that's present. And I'm okay with that. I am choosing this. Because, and this is where also people get wrong often, when they have these experiences, they think something is wrong with them. Something is wrong with the commitment, that you shouldn't be doing this because you have a negative experience. This is what you're choosing. This is part of it. When you say, I'm committed to achieve my goal, this is what you're choosing. And this is where I come to terms with, yep, I'm going to experience pain. I will experience loneliness. I will experience sadness. I will experience the full spectrum of feelings, also all the positive ones. And it's just part of the journey. So this video is also a reminder to myself, because what I'm realizing as well, when I made this commitment to create daily YouTube videos, I didn't know why. Of course, I knew why, because I felt it in my heart, like, let's commit to this. And yes, I can create all these ideas of, I'm going to be so disciplined and, oh, the willpower to create daily videos. Yeah, that's part of it. But what I'm realizing that I'm really getting out of it is that it's a space for me to process certain things that are also happening in my life. It is something that I'm doing for myself, which I didn't expect. So I'm creating these videos for me to also remind myself, who do I actually want to be in certain moments? To remind myself of, this is the truth that I want to ground myself into. And are you also reminding yourself of this in moments where you don't see a way out, in moments of uncertainty? Are you reminding yourself of who you are and who you want to be in that moment? Because your feelings don't define you. Your thoughts don't define you. You can question all that you want and still take action. You can feel like complete shit and still take action. You can't see any results and still move forward courageously. Who you are being is not defined by what you have or don't have, what you feel, what you're thinking. You always have this choice.